Good afternoon. So just want to do another update on this 2003 S8. Got the engine removed. That was on the last video. And this is what's going on. So that's the subframe. This is where it used to bolt on. The drive shaft still in there, exhaust. Kind of a mess after last time. I'm gonna clean it up right now. Yeah, so I've been looking at this firewall where I might have to cut in. I already got this cut off. And the one thing that I notice is the steering rack is there, which I did not think it would be there. So that's a surprise. And then you got these brake lines and going to the ABS. So I got one line running here. So yeah, if I do cut into it, I can't go past, well, this is as much as I can go in, like 2 inches. So yeah, I don't know what this is. Is this aluminum or is this, yeah, I think it's aluminum because it bends really easily. So yeah, I'll just cut into there, and then see if that'll help me. Because the problem is, this subframe is too in. And on the Mercedes, I'm looking at the mounts, and the mount is right over here. So that's not even the middle of the engine, that's a little more towards the back. So I'm gonna have all of this in the front, and I need most of it to be in the back. So yeah, well, I do know that these mounts over here, I do believe that the block has another set of holes somewhere around here, so maybe I can move that mount forward. I think there's more holes in the block, and I can move that mount a little more forward, causing the engine to go backwards, because this is a big engine and it's gonna be tricky. Yeah, because on here, this is, I don't know, like a foot and a half. So yeah, very interesting how that's gonna go. Hopefully it goes in, because I'm so far into it. And then now I got all this harness left, which I'm not cutting off yet, because who knows, I might need the temperature sensor or something, anything. So I'm leaving all of it on there just in case I need something. And all of this and all the fuel lines, I'm not touching none of it. I'm gonna leave all of it just so I can reuse some of this stuff. And then here's power steering. For now they're on there, AC, and then we'll see once we're moving forward to do what would. So I got this pump. This is a Mercedes SD, I believe, or SL350, a 96, I believe. And if I'm correct, it's mechanical. And I really need this to go on the Mercedes right now before I remove the engine. I'm trying to put this on and start the car. The reason why I want to do that is because if I remove it now and put this on there, remove the electronic one and put this mechanical pump on there, I'm gonna start it. Because the thing is, when you remove any of these lines, anything, like if you remove these plungers and you change the seals under them, for example, it sucks. Starting it, oh my god, yeah, you need, sometimes, sometimes it takes a minute to start. So I want to do this while the engine is still in the car. So I'm going to take this one off. This is electronic. And start the car. So before I even took any of this off, I had the car running, warmed it up, the last time while it's in here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this pump off, put the other pump on here, prime it, start it, let it run. I'll figure out what shuts it off, what starts it, because it's going to be completely different. And that way all of this is connected, I know it runs. Because if I disconnect all of this and then I'm going to put it in the Audi, then if something doesn't start or whatever, I'm not going to know, is it the pump or is it something else that I damaged or whatever. So it's best if I do this now and get it over with. So for now, I'm leaving this in there, and let's try to start it. So my buddy also told me that in here, when you remove this cap, which I just did like 10 minutes ago, the ECM, the engine control module, when you disconnect it, when you disconnect the main connector, and you go back in the car and the windows work, if the windows go up and down, if the stereo turns on, if wiper blades work, then not the whole harness runs through the ECU. Some of it is separate. For example, engine temperature sensor is separate on some. So this is, I believe this is 98. I have to look at the title, but on some cars, on some of these Mercedes, it's all in one harness. Some are separate. This one is separate, which is good. I'm gonna have the coolant temperature sensor, and then some other whatever sensors run separate. So maybe I can even take their harness, their own separate harness. Because this ECU harness goes through the firewall into the car, and it's a pain in the ass. So I did not know these things. If some of you are doing these things, I'm gonna explain to you. These cars, if you want them to run the electronic pump, the fuel pump, you need the ignition, you need the key, you need the computer, and you need the harness. You need all of that. If you lose a key to this car, you like it's a big problem. Some places don't even make them anymore. So this is why I'm doing a mechanical pump, because I'm not gonna need the key, I'm not gonna need the ignition, the ECU, the harness, none of it. I'm just gonna need a wire to start it, a vacuum to shut it off, and so on. Make it the simpler the better. So I did not know these things. I had to find out, how it works, and still learning it. So yeah, for those that are wondering, for example, I have everything. I don't need the computer. I don't need the harness. If someone needs it, I can sell it to you cheap, no problem, because I don't need none of it. I just bought the whole car just to see what goes where, what connects where, you know. So that's why I bought the whole car. And yeah, I can even take the engine right now and the transmission, automatic transmission, computer, harness, you know, the electronic pump, whatever, and put it in the Audi, but I don't want to run all those wires. I really don't. So I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna see how this mechanical pump works. If I believe this is mechanical, you know, I'm still learning about all this. Someone told me Mercedes SDL, that's what it's called, SDL 350. It's the big body. It's an inline six, 3.5 liter. So this is what I got this from. It was at a junkyard. Got it for 50 bucks. Someone told me this is a 5.5 millimeter pump. Maybe it is. Not sure. The plungers. I mean, 5.5 millimeter. When I look at this, right here, it says 6M. I don't know. Maybe it's a 6 millimeter. Maybe that's just a number for something else. Whatever it is, what it is. If I figure out how to do this, it's then I'm gonna take out the plungers from the other pump that's on the car right now, and put them in here, 6 millimeter, and then I can open this cap right here in the back, and I can, you know, give it some more fuel. And then in the future, you know, maybe 7.5, what, you know, we'll see. For now, just I want to run it. So it's not gonna have cruise control. It's not gonna have none of that, you know. It's just, I'm just gonna make a car that I can haul ass on. You know, that looks good. So I don't care for cruise control, whatever. I'm just gonna ride it once in a while, you know, on the weekends maybe. So not that big of a deal. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah. So I'm gonna buy some diesel, wash this whole pump, and put it on here. So got the intake manifold off, got all these plugged off, and yeah,